everyone, and welcome back to English Easy Pod, the place where learning English feels simple and natural. I'm Emily.
And I'm John. Thanks for joining us today. We've got another really practical topic to dive into, something almost everyone will need at some point, whether you live abroad, travel, or even just handle everyday life in your own country.
That's right. Today's lesson is all about going to the post office.
Now, some people might be thinking, really, the post office? Do I need English for that? And the answer is yes, absolutely. The post office is one of those everyday places where you'll definitely need useful words and phrases. Whether you're sending a letter, mailing a package, buying stamps, or even picking up a delivery.
Exactly. And the thing is, the vocabulary for the post office can be very specific. Words like stamp, envelope, package, tracking number, express delivery, priority mail, customs form, these aren't words we use every day in casual conversation. But when you're standing at the counter and you need to mail something, you don't want to freeze up.
So, in this episode, we're going to walk through the entire experience of going to the post office, step by step. We'll imagine ourselves taking a trip there, waiting in line, talking with the clerk, asking questions about mailing letters and packages, paying, and finally leaving.
And along the way, we'll explain the vocabulary naturally. You'll hear how these words fit into real English conversations. By the end, you'll feel comfortable with the whole process.
Great. Let's get started then. Picture this. It's a sunny morning, and you've got two things to take care of. First, you want to mail a letter to a friend who lives in another city. And second, you need to send a package, maybe a small gift, to a family member overseas.
So you grab your letter, put it in an envelope, and you also prepare the package. Then you head to the post office.
Okay, so we arrive at the post office. What do we see?
Usually the first thing is a line. People are waiting to be served. There might be posters on the walls advertising services like express mail, international shipping, or money transfers.
Yes, and usually you'll see a counter, the place where the postal clerks work. That's the word, counter. You walk up to the counter to talk with the clerk.
And before you get there, sometimes you need to take a little ticket from a machine, especially if it's a big post office. That ticket has a number, and when your number's called, it's your turn.
Right. But let's imagine today it's simple. We just wait in line and soon it's our turn.
The clerk greets us. They might say, "Hello, how can I help you today?"
And that's your cue. That's your chance to explain what you need.
Let's start with the letter first. You might say, "I'd like to send this letter, please."
Very simple. Just hold up the envelope and say that. And the clerk might respond, is this for domestic or international delivery?
That's an important question. Domestic means within the same country. International means to another country.
Exactly. So if your letter is going to a friend in another city, but still in your country, you would say, it's domestic.
Or if it's going to another country, you'd say, it's international.
Then the clerk might ask, would you like regular mail or express?
Let's explain that. Regular mail is the standard, slower delivery. It's usually cheaper. Express is faster, but it costs more.
So you might say, just regular mail, please. Or if it's urgent, you could say, express, please.
The clerk will then weigh your letter. They might put it on a little scale, and they'll tell you the price. For example, that'll be $1.20.
Then you pay, and they put a stamp on the envelope. And that's it. Your letter is ready to be mailed.
Now, sometimes you don't just want to send one letter. You might want to buy extra stamps so you can mail letters later without going back to the post office.
Good point. So you might say, can I also buy a book of stamps?
A book of stamps means a set of stamps, usually 10 or 20.
And the clerk might show you different designs. Stamps often have pictures of famous people, places, or symbols. So the clerk could ask, would you like the regular design or the special edition?
That's always fun. I usually pick the pretty ones.
Me too. Okay, so now we've sent the letter and bought some stamps, but we still have the package to send.
Right. So now you say, I'd like to send this package, please.
The clerk will probably ask, what's inside the package? That's important because some things are restricted. You can't just send anything.
Exactly. You can't send dangerous items like liquids, batteries, or sharp objects.
So let's imagine you're sending a small gift, like a book. You would say, it's a book.
Then the clerk will ask, where is it going?
You give the destination. For example, it's going to Canada.
The clerk will then explain the options. They might say, we have standard international shipping, which takes 2 to 3 weeks, or we have express, which takes 3 to 5 business days.
Notice that phrase, business days. That means Monday through Friday, not including weekends or holidays.
So if you need it fast, you choose express. If you don't mind waiting, you choose standard.
Then the clerk will weigh the package and measure its size. They'll say something like, that will be $15 for standard or $35 for express.
At that point, you decide which option you want.
Now, for international packages, there's usually an extra step. You have to fill out a customs form.
A customs form is a little paper where you write what's inside the package, how much it's worth, and your address and the receiver's address.
The clerk will hand you the form and a pen. They might say, please fill out this customs declaration form.
And then you take a minute to write it out.
Sometimes they also ask if it's a gift or merchandise. A gift means it's personal. Merchandise means you're selling something.
Right. So in our case, since it's a book for a family member, you'd check gift.
Once the form is done, you give it back to the clerk. They print a shipping label and put it on the package.
They also give you a tracking number. That's a special code you can use to check where your package is.
Exactly. The clerk might say, here's your receipt and your tracking number. You can use this to track your package online.
That's always reassuring. You know your package is on its way.
Finally, you pay for everything. The letter, the stamps, the package.
The clerk might say, that comes to $25 in total.
You can pay with cash or card. And then they'll say, have a nice day.
And that's it. You successfully mailed your letter and your package.
Let's pause for a moment and go back over the most important vocabulary.
We talked about letter, envelope, stamp, counter, clerk, domestic, international, express, regular mail, package, customs form, tracking number, receipt, business days.
Yes, and also useful phrases like, I'd like to send this letter, how much does it cost, can I buy a book of stamps, please fill out this customs form.
Those are the sentences that will really help you sound natural and confident.
And notice how polite everything is. You usually say please and thank you at the post office. That makes the interaction smoother.
Definitely. And remember, if you don't understand something the clerk says, you can always ask, could you repeat that, please? Or could you say that more slowly?
Perfect.
You know, I think the post office is interesting because it connects us to people far away.
Yes, even though we live in a digital age with email and messages, sometimes you still need physical mail.
And honestly, getting a letter or a package feels so special. It's more personal than just an email.
True. And from a language learning perspective, it's a very real situation. You can't avoid it. If you live abroad, you'll need to send or receive mail.
So practicing these words now is really helpful.
All right, so today we walked through the whole experience of going to the post office, from mailing a letter to sending a package internationally.
We explained key vocabulary and showed how the conversation flows naturally.
And we hope this episode makes you feel more confident about handling post office tasks in English.
Thank you for joining us on English EasyPod. Remember, practice these words out loud. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel.
Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.